Hello, this is Spoony Kipper having a look at the new penny arcade game Precipice of Darkness 3. This does follow on from the other games, even though it's done in a different style. If you've not played the other games, I would recommend it. I've thoroughly enjoyed them, played them both. You've got the wackiness of penny arcade in them. If you've never even heard of them, they do a webcomic. Go check it out now. Very funny. But this time they've done the games in a very old school RPG style. Let's see, for the wackiness, one of the bits is in the options straight away. Controls, you can adjust the settings for your mind orb. I mean, everyone nowadays have gotta have a mind orb if you've been playing a game. But yeah, these are the settings. Controls pretty standard. Continue, quit. Just gotta go for a normal game just to show you some of the bits at the beginning. I have played this game already. But I thought I'd go back over it and give my thoughts and feelings for the people that have not actually looked at this yet, or even heard of the games. This is out at the moment in the indie games section on the 360. It's not yet out on the PS3. I'm not entirely sure if it is coming out on the PS3, because they don't really seem to do an indie bit, so this might be another 360 exclusive. Not that I really mind, because I've got all the consoles, so if there's something I want, or there's something on one that I want, I'll get it. But just flick through these so I can get into the game. Okay, just have a quick look at the options in the game. Right, you have classes. You start off with your standard brute scholar. There are two more characters, as you can see, two more character slot you get later. They are your base jobs. You can't change them, but later you will unlock job pins, such as what were some of them? Tube Samurai, Hobo, Slacker, Diva, various other ones which have unique and interesting job things. You do unlock two other job slots as you go, so you can pretty much customize your character if you want a full on melee or mage or even a tank. Then depending on the jobs, then you can equip those, use abilities and items to kind of pimp that setting out if you want. I will load up one of my games. Well, as I say, I've been playing this later on, so quite high in the game, just to go over some of the later jobs you can get and some of the bits and pieces you can do. There's like a Colosseum I can take you to that just goes over jobs. I'm not going to really go through the game because I don't want to spoil anything. But this is the game map. As you go on, new areas will open up, just like so. Blah 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 blah. Here we are. So that's going to his nieces. Gabe, you crazy bastard. Now we're at his niece's house. Those of you who have played the earlier games, this is a pretty standard thing. They always go to her for some help, but this time she actually joins you instead of being there, being the person that does up your equipment and pretty much gives you hints. She is going to join us and help us with our fight with evil gods. That's just saying that if you're not in a fight, you can pretty much save the game at any time, which is kind of handy if you've just fought a big evil thing, or you're not sure on the looks of something, you can save the game, and then straight after the fight, if it's been really a tough one, you can save it again. Boom. No worries if you die like 2 seconds later and think, God, I've got to go through all that again. No, just 2 seconds, saved, carry on. No need for looking for save places or have to go all the way back to the map screen. You can do it whenever you want. There you go. Many but all your abilities in battle require MP. Your characters will each gain 1 MP every turn. MP isn't carried over from one fight to the next, so don't be afraid to use them. This is an interesting take on the old school RPG. As you can see, all 0 MP. It's pretty much done like this, though people don't hog their MP like they used to in RPG games like this. You'd pretty much hold out all your magic until a boss fight or something like that, or if you just want to go around, have some fun, and then literally obliterate what it is, or if it's a boss, you've got, you know, your magic save, so you can do your strong spells or your barriers, and, you know, got someone as a healer. But this time it's no MP. When it hits the character's turn, they'll get 1. If it's a standard attack or doing items or defending, you'll save that 1, but if it's some special ability, as he is a brute, you go into the brute skills, and you can see Fireball costs 1, and First Blood costs that 1 as well. Later on in the games you will unlock more abilities, but also saying, because this gives you more emphasis on using your magic instead of storing it, because it's going to get taken away as soon as your fight ends anyway. If you look here, it says about the HP, and then they're at 100% power. The longer the fight goes on, the stronger the enemies get. So it is pretty much use whatever you've got when you've got it. Throw the kitchen sink at them, God knows, just, you know, you want that fight done, because the longer you leave it, the more damage you are going to take, and the more chance you are likely going to die. Sorry about that, just taking a drink. Standard thing at the end, victory, you get XP, you get money. Money does help because later on in the game on the map, an item shops open up. There'll be a weapon shop, items and equipment. Items pretty much like health, because once your fight is done, your MP might get taken away, but all your health gets given back to you. Items are similar like that. You might only get 1 or 2 uses of something. You can buy upgrades so you can get more and make them stronger, but as soon as a fight ends, you'll get however many of that item you can store back. So it's not like, you know, oh, I've only got 1 potion, I can't use that, I'll never get more until I get back to the shop, and that's going to cost me X amount. Save MP, use a potion, store that MP for something stronger if someone's near death, and plus it revives them as well if they are dead. So there's no real, like, should I use a potion, should I not? You may as well, because then you can do possibly a stronger hit next time. Which again is, I don't know if it makes it a bit too easy, or just another interesting turn to do on it. But as you can see, say during this fight at the top, you have the time bar, if you like. You get the wait all the way up to the command, and then once you've done the command, you can take an action. Your action gets done. Let's save up to 4 MP and just check this move out. Later in the game there are jobs that do interrupt, and that will then play an important part checking out that command bar, because if you are in a boss fight, or if it's a strong enemy with, say, maybe like weaker enemies, you can interrupt ones and push them back on the time bar, giving your characters an extra bit of time to do damage and possibly finish them off, or maybe defend if you know something evil is about to come, and pretty much kick your ass if you don't. Okay, we're going to do this big 4 MP move. Defender. Blam. Much like many older RPGs even, there can be many routes to take looking around. You can go up there and fight that mime, or we can go there and fight whatever that is. Not entirely sure. But it is a good idea to check around. As you see, we've just gone up here and there's a treasure chest guarded by a clown and some fruit fuckers. Yeah, they are, because that's what they do. If you played the earlier games, you'll know that if you throw like an orange, they will do the business with the orange. It distracts them for a while. But yes, if you go off the beaten path, you're likely to find shinies. Shinies are good, but to get to the shinies you normally have to fight either a strong enemy or a group of enemies that you might not have encountered yet. But taking the risk and killing them, you'll normally get a pretty decent item. Which, well, I say depending on the item what it is, it could be a new weapon, could be an additional item that, say, as soon as you pick up an item you've got that for good. But they also do very much like the older school games, where some items or some of the paths are kind of hidden. They use the graphics, as it were, the layout, that if a building, say, ends like here, or actually it would be about here, and there's another building about it, there is actually sometimes gaps behind things, and even though you can't see it, you'll be able to walk behind stuff and get to another chest. So it is sometimes useful to look around. If you see a chest and you can't see straight away a way to get it, there is normally a hidden path or something like that, which is very, very the style of the older RPGs, where it is kind of hidden and off the beaten path, but you'll be rewarded for checking them out. Plus, fighting the enemies, it's more XP, gets you leveled up quicker, so it's all good for looking around and exploring. But I'm going to load up my latest save here and show you some of the bits and pieces from some of the jobs you get then. Okay, so these are your characters that you'll get. Go for the classes. You say we've got Brute, Hobo, Tube Samurai, Scholar, Gentleman, various bits and pieces. And each of those will have unique abilities. So like the Crabomancer, it's kind of a tank job. Helps boost stats and bits and pieces like that. The Tube Samurai has various stances, so if you were to go to the defense stance, the Tube Samurai, using the defense buffers of the Crabomancer, you could pretty much make a tank character if you wanted. There are other jobs that haven't got equipped. It doesn't really matter that much in this game if you've not used a job. If I just go to change here, some of these jobs, so like Diva, I've never touched this, but it's level 38. It's because everything gains experience. The ones you have equipped gain the most, they gain a certain percentage, but it's not too bad. I mean, if you have a certain fight that needs a specific setup, or you think it will do it better if you change them around, mix them up a bit, then there is no real penalty for doing it. You haven't got to go, oh god, now I've got to go off and find things to kill to get experience to get this new job up. It's not that bad. Some of the later items, you've got stat buffs, you've got ones that also restore MP, which can be useful because one of the moves I've got, I think it's like takes 9. It's a very strong, powerful move. So instead of having to wait 9 goes to build up the MP for this, I can just have a couple of characters throw those and you're ready to go. Equipment, self-help book is one of the better ones to get, but you've got some, say, like funny a bullseye. There's no reason for any one person to ever equip this. I've not actually equipped this, but given what the name is called, I would guess that that is a kind of a hate item, whereas if you've got a bullseye on you, people are going to be attacking you. So again, if you are trying to build up a tank character with defense and bits and pieces like that, giving them that item would be ideal. Then you got this, MP drops. So this will give you an extra MP, so it gives you faster access to some of the abilities that might cost 2 or more MP. And various other things with just funny descriptions. I mean, the enemies themselves, some of them, I think one was just called Jim, and underneath it just says, yep, that's his name. But that just goes along the style of Penny Arcade and their wacky, crazy humour. But the thing is, you've actually got some of the other Penny Arcade people, if you've ever watched these shows, that are actually the store owners. See, you got Erica in there. Alright, I'm gonna go down to the Colosseum because this did have monsters in it before. I don't know if they keep coming back, but I don't really want to go off onto a story thing to show people. Alright, they are back. These are just like the weakest ones here. So Hobo, he can inflict people with hoboism, which is kind of like a poison, and various bits and pieces like that. Tube Samurai with the different stances, but with each stance you then have access to a move. Gumshoe has interrupting abilities, which, as I said, you've got the command bar up there, which can be helpful. But you've also got moves that repeat or will take a while and they'll appear. The Gardens are a repeating one. You've got Garden of Tranquil Waters. That'll pretty much sit on your time bar and keep going from one end to the action, and once it hits there, the action, you'll get some MP back. And various other ones that take 2. This one gains MP. It's pretty much setting up your own strategies, as it were, to winning a fight. You got Apocalyptic, which you are bringing about a prophecy. This is Fire and Brimstone. We're going to do this because we're going to watch this one go off. Gentleman. Quite ironic with a British person doing the looking at the game. Adjust monocle. Ah, yes. This is pretty much a healer role. Yeah, Mentor, he's pretty much just like element magic. Necromancer, he can revive people, if I can say the word. Crabomancer is kind of your tank job. Dinosaurus, that's a funny one because he can turn into dinosaurs, and even Cthulhu, even though it's Cthulhusaurus, but never mind. We are going to wait for this prophecy, Fire and Brimstone, to rain down on these zombie sunflowers, for they are evil. Because the prophecies are a tiger. Oh, they are quite slow. but depending on enemies and that, you'll have certain ones that are weak, stronger to different elements or attacking or even special moves. And soon we shall rain fire and brimstone down on them. There we go. But yes, that's a little look at the game. If you like the older school RPGs, I recommend it, especially if you've played the other games. It is pretty much along the same lines of that, comedy-wise. You got some really funny moments in this. I know some people will probably be turned away by the way it looks if they're interested in like games nowadays with how pretty they look. But I would suggest it gives it a chance. I mean, it is on the indie market for the 360. It didn't cost a great many Microsoft points. I can't actually remember how many. And it's just a nice little RPG, which will then go through to the fourth and final one. I think it's only 4 of them. Which I'm wondering again if this is going to be done in this style or if they'll change up the style and they'll do something else. But if you like old school RPGs, then I recommend it to you. If you've never played one before, there are worse ones I suppose you could pick. There are also a lot better ones. I mean, it's not going out there to try and be the best, it's just being a little quirky game. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Simple enough. But that's all for me for taking a look at Precipice of Darkness 3. Anything you want to say or any comments of the game? You're welcome to comment on the video below. I hope you've enjoyed this little look of it. And take it easy, and I'll see you again all at some other point. Bye.